From Logan Chieftains Stadium, the Danville Blue Devils take center stage live and free on the OH Report. The top-rated team in Region at 27 will battle it out with the number 2 Beaver Eastern Eagles. History has already been made for both sides. Coach Matt Bloom is now the first coach in Danville history to reach the regional final in each of his first 3 seasons at the helm. And for the Eagles, it's their first time ever in a regional final in their program's short 9-year history since the OHSAA sanctioned their football team back in 2015. 2 clashing offensive play styles will grace the field tonight. Who will represent Region 27 in the Division 7 State Final Four? You'll find out next.
Defending K-Mac champs, play here.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Let's go.
Me think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, but you know we come to slay. Let them know that we didn't come to play. Nah, we came to win. I'm ready for anything that they can bring. Bring it on, let me do my thing. I'm a giant. Now we're here blowing up. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. Yeah, the first step is showing up, now we're here. Yeah, the first step is showing up, hear them cheer. Yeah, the first step is showing up, now we're here. We're blowing up, hear them cheer. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. Ruthless, ruthless. Give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless.
Time now for your pregame show brought to you by Valley 8 TV. Jonathan Langdon alongside Josh Banks as we get set for this regional championship. One more step before we get to the state Final Four, and the Danville Blue Devils and the Eastern Eagles have just each other in each other's way to get themselves into another set of tournaments.
How about the weather here tonight? We talk about the conflicting offenses we're going to see, the two different styles of offense that we're going to see, and you've got a sideways rain that's going to favor one or the other in one direction, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But we're going to pull it up now. Let's take a look at those Eastern Eagles who are going to be the visitors on the scoreboard tonight.
Yeah, you talk about the clashing play styles, and it's going to be a lot of passing from the Eagles here tonight. Number 2 in Region 27. They are averaging just over 370 yards per game. You see it there, and also 2.8 takeaways a game, which is huge against a team like Danville.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 takeaways a game against a team that likes to run the football a lot. Now, what I'm curious to know is how many of those takeaways are on interceptions or on forced fumbles, because a Danville team that we're going to see is not going to throw the ball a bunch. If those are fumbles, Danville might be in trouble.
And you're in luck, because those are the numbers I do remember when stat piling. It was 19 interceptions and 18 forced fumbles.
So they're really good defensively either way you look at it. But I tell you what, we were talking down with Coach Bloom for Danville, and he talked about this young man that we're about to take a look at. He's a first-year starter for this Eastern offense. And holy cow, the numbers.
Yeah, you're going to see him here. Eric Manley Jr. is a junior. Where's number 7? He is 6'6", 225. That's a pretty big dude, and we've seen some guys like him in our area. And thinking about Ashland High School, they just lost last week, but they got a stud at quarterback, a 3-star, Nathan Bernhardt. You talked about the similarities.
Yeah, watching Manley throw the football, he reminds me a lot of Bernhardt, the way he can throw it across the field. He was throwing from hash to hash, making it look easy. He was throwing the deep ball from hash to hash, and he was throwing it 30, 35 yards downfield, nothing to it. And you see the numbers there. The young man's got almost 3,000 yards passing, and how about 42 touchdowns on the season? You can't ask for anything better, and he's got another year of high school football left.
18.1 yards per completion. He lives on the big plays. Coach Bloom is going to want to limit those. He talked about that with us as well out on the field. So best arm in all of Region 27. That is not an overstatement at all. This is a region that doesn't throw the football very much throughout all of the teams, but you're going to see one here today with this Beaver Eastern side. The Danville Blue Devils, we followed them all this way. I've called 4 of their last 5 games, and it's been a privilege each and every single time. Their losses this year, I think it's interesting that they're combined 25-1 and counting, because Northmore is still in it. Hopewell Loudon was their other loss. They fell to Patrick Henry last week, but just the sheer quality of their losses.
Well, and think about that. You just said it. Patrick Henry, who is a powerhouse in football, beats Hopewell Loudon, who was undefeated going into that game, and they lose to Northmore, who's playing tonight in a regional final. What more can you ask for out of the Blue Devils and Coach Bloom? You said it yourself, 3 consecutive regional finals. They're bound to break through at some point, and we'll see if tonight's going to be the night.
Yeah, and then they're going to be led by, we've talked a lot about this Danville offense. Let's give a shout out to the defense, because why not? Josh Byers, and we talk about Boom and Zoom. I saw someone pleading with us to add the nickname to Josh Byers, Doom, and it couldn't be any better because this guy is a menace.
183 tackles in high school footballs. That's 18 tackles a game, Jonathan. 18 tackles a game this young man averages. You said yourself number 2 in the state and number 14 nationally. Holy cow, this young man is a force to be reckoned with, but he does it on the offensive side of things too.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And we got a couple of moments here, just about 2 minutes before we kick off. And before we do kick off, let's talk about some keys to victory. And for this Beaver Eastern side, throwing the football, what are they going to change up? Maybe they change some things offensively, but the big thing is ball security.
Yeah, ball security is going to be very important for them. Don't allow this Danville offense on the field more than you need to because they want to run the ball. They're going to eat 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes off the clock. You don't want to give them more possessions than you have to. But how about recognized personnel? Defensively, you have to know what's going on with this Danville offense. They're going to throw so many different formations at you to try to confuse you. Recognize the personnel. Know your assignments and play assignment football defensively, and you'll have a shot here tonight.
And Danville fans know, I talked about this last week. They run sort of a wing T offense, but they'll get offended if you call it a wing T offense because they do so much more than that. Keys to Danville, reinvented secondary since that Northmore game. They lost 41-6 against a pass-heavy team. Well, here they are against another pass-heavy team, and we could very well see them with their reinvented secondary here today.
And as you get everything put up, we're getting ready to kick off. I'll talk about the last one, stay the course. Hey, you've got 2 losses on the year to 2 top teams in the state in their respective divisions. Stay the course. Continue to play Smash Mouth Danville Blue Devil football, and you'll come out victorious tonight and go play in the state Final Four next week. Elected to defer to the second half, so they'll kick off away from the scoreboard.
Having difficulties with our camera. Give us just a moment.
For Eastern.
There we go.
There's our picture.
Clutch just in time. Clock hits 0. And Caleb Lucas did the kickoffs last week and pretty much the entire season at that. In fact, he will do it again here. And Wyatt Richardson will be ready to return along with Tucker Leist.
Couple seniors back deep. Again, this program brand new in 2015, and they're already at this point. It's going to be fun to watch tonight to see how they continue to get better.
Regional Championship football live and free on the OH Report, whether on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok for the very first time in OH Report history. We are underway at the 20-yard line. Goes Wyatt Richardson. He's shoved out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. That's where Beaver Eastern will start with their offense led by quarterback Eric Manley Jr., 6'6", 225 pounds, close to 2,800 pass yards, 42 touchdowns. Beaver Eastern comes into this game as David to Danville's Goliath, but talk about being a Goliath of yourself, Eric Manley.
Yeah, and the size, the strength, the ability. But let's talk about his favorite target, fellow junior Carson Peters, who you put down here, went on a visit to Ashland, already has an offer from Rio Grande, and he's just as advertised from what we've seen in warm-ups.
So in the shotgun here with Beaver Eastern, they will get a flag to start today's game. Looks like a false start. That's what Josh is motioning to my right.
Yeah, it's going to be a false start on Beaver. It looked like the interior lineman somewhere kind of got a little bit of head start. That motion sometimes can throw off an offensive line, cause that jump, but that's not what you want to do if you're Eastern on your first drive, is give Danville more room to pin their ears back and come at you.
So a new play here from quarterback Eric Manley. 4 receivers on this first down, and now 15 after the flag. Man in motion, that's Leist. This will be a give, and that will be stopped dead in its tracks at the 20. Caleb Lucas with the big tackle.
Caleb Lucas met him in the hole, gave him 0 opportunities to find a hole, and that's what Danville is going to have to do all night. But again, they struggle to defend the pass, so I'm curious to see what they've done this week in practice to reinvent, as you said, that secondary to not let Northmore happen again.
So it is a gain of 1 technically on the scoreboard. So 2nd down and 14. Snap, quick throw, rolls out to the near side. Pass is complete, and that's Tucker Least. Taken down by Nolan Ridgway for a 3rd down and long.
It'll be about 3rd and 10. It looks like got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so not too much going here yet for Beaver Eastern, but still a chance here. They're a big play offense, and they're going to be relying on that, maybe on some 3rd down and longs throughout this game.
Well, and you heard Coach Bloom say that. We got the privilege to go down and talk to him pregame. He said limit their explosive plays, and you'll have a chance to beat them. You're putting them in a situation where they have to have an explosive play.
Looking down the field, this one's lobbed right into coverage, and it was bobbled. Looks like Ridgway was in there first, and it almost fell over to Carson Proper.
Yeah, Ridgway had his hands on it, unable to bring it in. And it's one of those things where it's really, really, really tough. But at the same time, you force them into a 4th down, you force them to have to punt now. So you're getting the football back either way.
So the punter will come out for Beaver Eastern. Back to return Wesley Payne, who is a full go today, missing not last week, but the 2 weeks before. He played a couple of snaps in the regional semifinal against Miller, but he, according to Coach Bloom, is full go tonight. He will not get to return this because it was right to the left and out of bounds. Danville will have favorable field position.
They're going to start with the ball on, it looks like, the 32, 33-yard line. And what more could you ask for if you're Coach Bloom for your offense to come out? You got to go 33 yards to go up 7-0. But again, they're going to eat some clock to go up 33 yards and go up 7-0.
So shanked to the left on the punt, and here comes the Danville offense led by Jacob Hackman, nearing 1,500 all-purpose yards. He's got 6 playoff touchdowns, 5 through the air, and 1 on the ground that he had last week against Miller. 3 backs here on 1st down.
Triple I.
And 10, yes. Byers is the first one. They'll give it to Cy Wallace. He'll break to the outside, and he is
Holy
full go.
wheels.
No one has touched him yet. He'll juke a couple, and he's in.
That
freshman.
young man this is my first time seeing Danville this year, and I've heard you call this kid Zoom all year, and I just got to see firsthand why you call him Zoom.
Cyren Wallace, the freshman sensation, playing in his first ever season at running back. He's played wide receiver all throughout middle school, but here he is lining up at running back this year. I would say getting involved heavily halfway through the season. 797 rushing yards isn't too shabby, Josh.
Well, you're over 800 now after that first one. And that was supposed to go inside, as they're going to go for 2 here in that triple I. We'll see what happens.
Same formation, same give, and it works again. So Cyren Wallace, 1 play from scrimmage for the Blue Devil offense, and they score a touchdown, 8-0. They take the lead over Beaver Eastern here in a Region 27 District Championship.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
Well, Josh, that was quick. So Danville in 1 offensive play now has 8 points after the touchdown from Cyren Wallace, a 32-yard carry. And they get the 2-point conversion also with the freshman. And here they are feels like we were just here a couple of moments ago. Well, that's because we were.
Well, and that's, Cyren Wallace is one of those kids. We've seen it on the highlights we've watched all year from the games that you've covered. Is this going to go deep? It's actually going to go into the end zone. How about the kick? We've seen it all year from this Danville offense. Aidan Burke is the ground and pound. He'll smash mouth. He'll run you over. And then you got Wallace, who, if you give him the ball and you give him an edge, you're not going to catch him. He just outran the entire defense. And that was supposed to go through the 4-hole. That was supposed to go between the guard and the tackle. There was nothing there. He bounced it off the edge, turned a corner, and he might be the fastest back that I've seen this year just on that one play alone.
So here we are back with Beaver Eastern's offense. It's now 1st down and 10 to start the new drive. Manley, 3 receivers. Got an extra back just behind the offensive line. They'll go with the carry, and that will barely get a yard.
Nowhere.
Got our replays going, brought to you by Danville Feed and Supply. Just a big crowd of black right there.
Looked like Lucas again made the initial tackle on the inside. Lucas came off that edge, made the initial stop.
And there was one thing I talked about with this Danville team is that there are a lot of underrated, under-the-radar guys that want to play in the next level and maybe have a couple of offers, D3, but you could definitely see with this playoff run, they're going to start gaining more interest from some colleges, especially some of the seniors. Caleb Lucas was one of them we already brought up, and there's a dangerous pass that will bring up 3rd down. And
Chris Mosier had every opportunity in the world. Again, that's the second ball we've seen that probably should have been picked. And honestly, that's the second ball that if it's picked, it's probably going back 6 the other way.
Yeah, so Manley just throwing some questionable balls here early. Here comes 3rd down and 9.
And this is what you want if you're Danville and Coach Bloom. Force them into those long situations. Know what they're going to do. You can't run the ball on 3rd and 9 against this defense. Now you can drop back, play a little bit of coverage, get some pressure on Manley, and don't let him make a big play.
One of the keys to the game for Danville, we're going to see this reinvented secondary as Manley breaks through the pocket, and he'll be brought down. Owen Gronberg, the sophomore, with the sack.
And that's exactly what we were just talking about. You forced him to try to make a play. He tried to get outside the pocket. This defensive line for Danville is very quick. He shed the block, met him on the edge, got the sack, and now we're not even 3 minutes into the first quarter, and Danville's getting ready to get their second offensive possession.
And we got another punt. Maybe Wesley Payne will get to return this one. First one was shanked. 15 yards to just start Danville's drive at the 32 of Eastern. This punt barely gets off. They had a blocked punt last week. Payne will let this go to roll out around the 35-yard line.
Should be marked almost at the 35 for Danville. But they showed last time that they don't need a bunch to be able to go a long distance. I mean, do you go right back to it if you're Danville? Do you just hand it to Cyren Wallace again?
That's definitely what we'll see on 1st down, but then if there's a stop there, well, that'll be interesting to see what they decide to do from there because Cyren Wallace is working so far. He was working last week. He's a Max Preps Player of the Week candidate in the state of Ohio, and rightfully so with a bunch of our other local players. I'm thinking like Bodpin Miller from Ontario, Braden DeVito from Shelby. How about the matchup those two had? There's a tackle just over the line of scrimmage on 1st down and 10 for Danville.
Brady Moore met Cyren Wallace there in the backfield. He's going to get a yard on that one. But that's what they need to do. But here's the thing. Cyren tried to hit the hole that time. He didn't bounce that one out, and he got met in the hole.
So the gain of 1 will make it 2nd down and 9. Close to a 3rd gone here in the first quarter. Approaching 8 minutes, Danville up already 8-0 on a Cyren Wallace 32-yard touchdown. It was in this very formation. They're going to toss it out, and this is Cyren again, shifting away, and not nearly as far as the 32-yard rush earlier, but that will get 3 for a 3rd down and medium.
Yeah, it looks like
made by Wyatt Richardson.
They're going to give it to him at the 40. It's going to be a 3rd and 5, so they'll give him 4 on that carry. But 5 yards, here's the thing. Danville, if they get into a 4th and 2, 4th and 1, they're not going to punt the ball. They're going to run it down your throat and get the 1st down. So now you're 3rd and manageable, putting yourself in a position where you're a fourth and extremely manageable to where you don't have to punt.
Here's something we don't see from Danville often. Shotgun formation with 2 backs. He'll go to Aidan, boom, Burke, and he'll shift his way for the first down and more. He's still churning to the 40-yard line.
Dragging kids. Aidan Burke dragging kids down the field.
Christian Smith finally able to bring him down, but still a big first down for this Danville team that has a crowd that has really shown up this week.
A 19-yard rush by Burke on 3rd and 5.
So we'll see another first down brought to you by the Hangout in Danville.
They're going to stay in gun.
This time they'll go to Josh Byers. Byers scored a touchdown on the ground last week. That time he's bottled up for about a 2-yard gain.
They'll give him 2, and here's the thing. You're moving forward. 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards is 4th and 2 or 4th and 4, and that's manageable for the Blue Devils.
Yep, that's the Mount Gilead Indian offense for you. Have you ever watched Mount Gilead play?
That's the Lucas Cub offense,
That
really.
too.
I mean, they want 2 to 3 yards of carry because then 4th and down is very manageable.
Honestly, that's just high school football offense. Simply just so many teams, especially in the lower divisions, love to run the football. Danville, one of the best at doing so.
Yes, they are.
Wallace in motion, one of the wing backs. This will go to Burke instead. He stiff arms one down to the ground. He's got one to beat before he goes to the end zone. He's shoved outside the 5, or inside the 5, just short of the end zone. Wyatt Richardson there.
39 yards. And the power, the stiff arm, and the burst after he breaks the first tackle. This might be the best backfield in Division 7.
It's a bold claim in a division that includes a really, really good Marion local team. Also Minster, both of them playing tonight for a Region 28 championship. Wallace is swallowed up, able to break one and make it a minimal loss. It's about 3 yards there on the loss, and Brady Moore finally got in there, got the tackle.
Well, here's the thing with D7, and we're seeing it a lot more. Hillsdale, Cuyahoga Heights, the 2 teams that match up tonight as well on the other side of things. Hillsdale has Kel Lewis at the helm. Kel Lewis loves to sling it. Owen Sloan will run the ball. He'll get his carries. Cuyahoga Heights is a run-first team. But Marion Local loves to sling it around just like this Eastern team does. So when you look at all-around backfield, no doubt in my mind that this Danville backfield is the best in D7 as Aidan Burke's going to walk, we'll call it, into the end zone, bouncing off of about 4 guys before he finally punches it in.
So boom and zoom both on the board for the Blue Devils here in just 6 minutes of play, Josh.
I said on the way up here that it was going to be real interesting to see how this game played out tonight. Danville has dominated so much this season. Since that Northmore loss, they have ran through everybody they've seen, including their playoff wins.
Especially their playoff wins.
And they're doing the same thing tonight. This team is destined to get where they're going to get to.
Here's a first throw of the day, incomplete, looking for Ashton Spalding. So that will make it 14-0. We'll take another break, come back live and free on the OH Report for a Region 27 championship.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Caleb Lucas is back to kick for the 3rd time here in the first quarter. 2 of them off of touchdowns from Boom and Zoom. Cyren, Wallace, that's Zoom, and Aidan Burke. Boom Burke, the senior and the freshman, both with touchdowns here early for the Danville Blue Devils, the #1 team in Region 27. So far, they're showing you why, as there's a big hit on the return by Wyatt Richardson, the 6'2 senior.
And I tell you what, I was looking through social media just the other day, and I think everybody would kind of agree. Marion Local is probably the favorite to win the D7 state title. 61 consecutive wins. They've ran through everybody. But on social media the other day, I'm not going to say where, who it was, but there was a source that picked these Danville Blue Devils to come out and win the D7 state title. I'm going to tell you right now, if they get another stop here and go up 21-0 before the end of the first quarter, it's going to be a long night.
This is a Danville team that scored 30 points on Portsmouth Notre Dame 2 weeks ago in the first quarter. They're starting to get a really good start offensively here today.
And that's kind of what Coach Bloom said he wanted, a quicker start than they had last week. And I'd say you can't ask for a much better start than what you've got here in the first quarter.
Exactly right. And with Marion Local, 3 straight state championships. But you got to think that run's got to end at some time. And, of course, Danville fans believe that they can be the ones to do it.
Well, and here's the big thing. You know, you're Marion Local. You're playing a lot. You're playing a lot of big schools, right? You haven't ran into that small school team that can punch you in the mouth just like you can punch them in the mouth. And I think we've got 2 teams that we still cover with the OH report that can both do that, as Manley's looking to go deep.
Good pressure by the Danville defense. Throw down the field. Looks like it is
incomplete.
Yep,
hit the ground.
Official came over, patted the turf. Here's a second look brought to you by Danville Feed and Supply. And Wyatt Richardson not able to haul it in.
And the defense there by Danville is just on point. You got a spy on Manley. You see him roll out. That spy attacks the contain, makes him make a bad decision on the throw. He throws it low. Richardson unable to get his hands under it. That's what you have to do to Manley if you're Danville. Force him out of the pocket, send pressure, make him make a play when he's uncomfortable.
So here's 3rd down and 7. 4 receivers again. Manley looking to the left. He'll throw that way and didn't really see anybody. Kind of went between 2 receivers.
I tell you what, if he throws a good ball here, Carson Peters is wide open on a corner route, and he's the best receiver on this squad. He might catch that and take it for 6, but now guess what? Eastern's got to punt again, and with 4:43 left in the first quarter, Danville's going to get their 3rd offensive possession.
Yeah, so this is the 3rd punt for Eastern. They forced Miller, Danville, into 8 punts last week. That's the most kicking in that fashion I've seen in games in a long time. There may be
he fell.
Flag.
There it is.
Wesley Payne will dive on the ball on the other end, but there is a flag. And
now it's going to come down to, is it roughing or running into? If it's roughing, it'll be an automatic. I think that's just running into. He didn't hit him with, like, excruciating circumstances or unnecessary contact. He ran into the leg, and honestly, from up here, it looked like the kicker waited a second before he fell down. He got hit. He looked back at the official waiting for the flag, seen the flag wasn't coming, so then he fell over so he would get the flag.
Yeah, so that time they do call it running into. So
it's still a punt situation. I mean, you go down to 4th and 2. Do you go for it offensively? It looks like they're sending the offense back on the field. This is a dangerous play right now by Eastern.
But it's a play that you need down 2 scores early in the game, and you just need to try and get your offense flowing. Now we're going to see
have a Danville timeout.
Yep. Maybe that was the ultimate decision there from Coach for Beaver Eastern, just to try and get them confused and call a timeout here early.
Well, and here's the thing. They've got 9 total yards on 3 drives. 9. You're asking for 2 yards out of an offense whose biggest play so far was a 4-yard pass. I know 2 yards is not a lot in high school football, because it's not. But you're asking for something that your offense hasn't been able to do in 12 plays.
Yep. So Danville 14, Eastern 0, 4th down and 2 incoming. Will the offense go for it? Will it be a punt?
The offense is still on the field for Eastern.
Yeah, it's very easy to tell when the offense is out on the field because you got 6'6", number 7 in white out on the field. Eric Manley.
Well, no, let's not forget his go-to target, Carson Peters, also stands at 6'4".
Yep. Got some big dudes over there for Eastern, and so far haven't been able to utilize them enough to get some yards, and they're going to need it here. 4th and 2, 4:39 to go in the first quarter. This could be a deciding play in this game.
I don't think he got it.
And it looks like there's a late push at the end. Whistle's never.
They're going to give it to him on the extra push. I thought his forward progress was stopped maybe right at the line of scrimmage. The extra push got it.
There's the late end of that. So, yes, Beaver gets the first down. Brady Moore was the one to pick it up. His offensive linemen, shout out to all of them pushing him in. And we'll just go down the list with their offensive line. Hayden Rhinesmith at left tackle, Brewer Tomlinson at left guard, Kane Heist the center, also Mason Cater the right guard, and the right tackle Bronson Kellar.
And that's kind of like that, we all see the Philadelphia Eagles do it almost weekly. That tush push can get you an extra couple yards when you need it, and that's exactly what they got right there.
New set of downs, much needed for the Eagles. Trying to build some momentum and get on the board. Down 2 scores already. That won't help. Gronberg and Mosier get in on the tackle.
And that's going to be a loss of, it looks like 2.
Danville defense on the rushing end of things. They have been stopping teams left and right. It's just something that KMAC teams do really well, just locking down top running backs. Last week, I remember it was just, I believe, 16 yards rushing for Miller. And then also the week before, they only gave up 5 rushing yards. And in a Devil Dog game that is so as tight as ever, they only let East Knox run for 20 yards.
And that's the thing. You get into the KMAC where Danville plays, and every team in the KMAC, except for the Golden Knights, as we got a deep shot down the field.
Looking for Tucker Leist, and it's broken up. Levi Ferre gets in there.
And how about the play by Ferre? He waited for the receiver to come down with that. He easily could have tried to get in there early. He waited for the receiver to put hands on it before he came up through him to avoid the pass interference. That's a great play by Ferre. But as we were saying, the Blue Devils have faced the running teams all year. East Knox, Loudonville, Frederick. I mean, all the teams they play want to run the football except for Northmore. So they're used to this. This is what they've been battle tested for all season in the best small school conference in the state. Travis says it all the time, and I'm starting to agree with it.
Here's 3rd down and 12, and you gotta think that deep shot. Could you afford that on 2nd down and 12? Now you've got to gain so many yards here on 3rd down, and you can't complete the pass on a screen play for Leist.
Well, and how about the pressure? You're getting pressure up the middle from Josh Byers, untouched up the middle to hit the quarterback. And here's the thing. He may not have got the sack, but Manley felt that hit, and he's not going to want to take that again tonight. That's going to force maybe some bad decisions. But guess what? Now they're punting again.
Some mental games being played from this Danville defense. And it's also interesting, you got to be careful right there, Josh Byers, because that could have easily been a roughing the passer that would have given an automatic 1st down.
Yes, it very well could have been. I think he timed it just right. Another very, very short kick.
And
it's going to bounce back.
Yep, takes a Danville bounce, collected at the 48 of the Blue Devils.
52 yards is all Danville's going to have to go on this possession. They've went 33 yards on the first one. They went 67 yards on the second one, and now they're going to go 52 yards. They haven't had to go really the length of the field yet tonight, and it shows on the scoreboard.
3 receivers here on 1st down and 10, 2 backs as well. Really relying on that front 5 to keep you open. Here's a give to Ashton Spalding near side. He's in enemy territory with a solid, it looks like, 4-yard gain.
Yeah, Ashton Spalding, another one of those backs. You and I were kind of talking on the ride up. They have 7, 8, 9 guys that they'll hand the ball off to and trust to get some solid yardage. And there's another one that we see for the first time tonight in Spalding.
The sophomore Carson Carver in on the tackle. Here's 2nd down and 6.
Spalding stays in the backfield with Cyren Wallace.
Here's another give. Looks like it was Spalding again.
He's going to get another 4 yards.
So just stacking them up right now, Danville. I talked about it last week. They condition the defense a lot. They like to run the football in large succession, in large volume, I should say, and then they'll take a deep shot down the field. They're not afraid to do that. I saw it last week against Miller, ran a couple of plays, short throws, handoffs, obviously, with this Danville team. Then they took a shot to Cyren Wallace, although the pass wasn't completed. You see that happening with this team.
And we're going to see it right here.
Hackman escaping pressure, throws
Gets
short.
it to Wallace.
And there is Wallace. Cyren Wallace with space. And he almost breaks another tackle. Richardson in there to throw him out at the 25.
But that's exactly what you were just talking about, Jonathan. They take a shot, and they get 20 yards on it.
So good work from Danville to keep the drive going. That's been the difference so far between Danville and Beaver. Eastern's just struggled in their second down and longs. They've had incompletions that will make it third and long, and it becomes really difficult to work from third and longs on every single drive. That's just what it's been for the Eagles.
Well, and when Danville is moving the ball this well, this fast, they are dangerous, and that's what's happening. Big plays.
Aidan Burke immediately swallowed up, but even with his strength, he's still able to get a couple yards.
Yeah, he falls forward for one, and that's the thing about Burke. And all of these, it's not just Burke. Even Wallace being the speed back, he's always going forward. They're going forward to get that yard.
Bryden Tomlinson, the junior, gets the tackle. So now after that gain, makes it 2nd and 9. Just 1 yard for the senior Burke. They'll bring in Aidan Mickley. That's a new look for this Danville team. He just checks in. They'll be on the near side here. Wes Payne in the slot. Aidan Burke will move into motion. No, that's Cy Wallace. He'll get the handoff. And with his burst of speed, he will break one, push through a second, and he's inside the 5.
$18 more yards for Wallace.
Boy, Richardson, number 10 in white, is stacking up the tackles. He makes another crucial one there to keep them out of the end zone. And with 36 seconds left, can the Blue Devils beat the buzzer?
Do they try? They have to at least beat the buzzer with the play call. And from this yardage out with Wallace and Burke, I don't see how they don't punch it in.
Look at all of that run support on the right side. They'll go left instead.
Hackman.
They throw off even me and the Eastern defense for 6.
Hackman runs it in from 6. And like we just said, they loaded up the right side. They'd seen Burke in the backfield. He took off left with Hackman. They ran a little veer with the quarterback, and he walked into the end zone untouched.
So there's that conditioning the defense again, and they were conditioning Eastern all the way into last week because we saw, well, I saw, you weren't there obviously, Josh, but last week they used a lot of their blockers, especially with Hackman quarterback draws. They went to their strong side. That time they go to the weak side and score. And Hackman's going to run this in as well.
He's going to get it 2 points.
22-0. It's looking like Notre Dame all over again. And remember, Notre Dame is in Beaver Eastern's conference. Taking another break, it's a 22-0 score, 16 seconds to go in the first quarter.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
.4 to go in the first quarter. This is the 4th kickoff for Danville in a 22-point first quarter. And you're seeing it live and free on the OH Report, whether on YouTube, Facebook, or on TikTok. There's a bobbled return from Richardson. He'll pick it up. He's still at the 10-yard line, and he'll be taken down inside the 10.
He breaks the first tackle, and then you got 5 Danville hats on the ball. Now what do you do if you're Eastern? You're struggling to move the ball offensively. Now you're starting inside your own 10. You haven't been able to successfully run the football, which means you can't get out of trouble here. This is a crucial drive for Eastern. They have to put points on the board on this drive.
Props to Elliott Holt, who made the tackle for Danville on that return. Someone we don't see often on the defensive end, makes a play on special teams. So now there's 9 seconds left. First down and 10. They'll play a short screen pass, and they'll go out of bounds with a solid gain of looks like 6 as Wyatt Richardson gets involved again.
Looks like they're only going to give him about 4. Must have stepped out early.
Nonetheless, it's positive yardage for Beaver Eastern. You'll take it, just trying to slowly chip away. Need to start getting back into this game, and offensively it's not really helping them right now with all these second and longs they've had. Here's a second and medium. 6 to go. Trips to the top. There's another screen. This is Tucker Leist this time, and he is taken back for a loss.
And they're going to end up right back in the position they were just in. They lose 4 on that play.
Nolan Ridgway defensively makes the tackle, and that will do it for the first quarter. Danville out of the gates strong. 22-zip over the Eastern Eagles in a Region 27 championship game.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
Beaver Eastern looking to get things going offensively as we start the second quarter here from Logan High School in a Region 27 championship between the Danville Blue Devils, ranked number 1 in the region, against the 2-seeded Eagles from Beaver Eastern. That ball sails over the intended target, Tucker Leist.
4th down now, 4th and 9, and here's the dangerous part if you're Eastern. Your punter has struggled tonight to get a clean punt off. Danville's come close to blocking it a couple times, and now you're going to be catching this ball in your own end zone.
Keep an eye on number 81. Caleb Lucas has 2 blocked punts this year. He had one of them last week against Miller that was scooped up by Chris Mosier for a touchdown.
If you block this one, you're probably going to recover it yourself in the end zone.
Cyren Wallace will join West Payne back to return. Here is the 4th punt of the day, and that time it will get off. Takes one bounce, and Danville not really having anything to do with some of these punts. They muffed one last week, so kind of just playing conservative. That will land inside the 40, and Danville will start their first drive of the second quarter. All 3 of the drives they had in the last one, they scored on.
On big play, big play, big play, Aidan Burke runs it in. Big play, big play, big play, Hackman runs it in. And then the first touchdown was just Cyren Wallace said, hey, guys, I'm a freshman, and I'm going to outrun every one of your players to the corner of the end zone.
Want to give you some score updates across the OH report. If you plan on watching later tonight, mute your broadcast right now, I'll be done with this by the time this play is over. Northmore 20-0 over Grandview Heights. Ontario tied still with Perkins 0-0. As you see Cy Wallace with a run up the middle.
It's like they're going to give him 4.
Excuse me, Burke with the run. Other updates. Looks like Hillsdale is up. They were up 21-7 last I saw. It's not on my screen right now. And then also Massillon Washington in a tie game with Big Walnut, 7-7.
That'd be a huge win for Big Walnut if they could upset, because I know Walnut's the one, but that's an upset, I think, in most people's book.
For sure. Massillon Washington, one of those teams that goes everywhere but Ohio to play their games.
Hackman's going to battle his way all the way. We'll see where they spot him at.
Carver with another tackle, and it looks like they got the first down, so move the chains.
So they're going to give him 6.
So in summary, 3 of the 5 teams we cover are in the lead. The other 2 are tied right now with their opponents in these regional championships. Here's a give to Josh Byers, his second of the day. We'll get about 5.
And that's just this Danville offense. They come out, they run a triple I, and then they come out and go single I and give it to the fullback. They'll go into a slight wing T and send somebody in motion. They'll throw Cyren Wallace a toss. The way they get these athletes the ball is what makes them so dangerous.
Here's 2nd down and 6. They are in Eastern Territory again. Shotgun Hackman backs up to pass. Plenty of time in the pocket, rolls out, and now he'll get rushed, and there's an interception. Running the other way, the Eastern Eagles with their first takeaway of the game. Boston Webb snags it.
And that's a throw by Hackman that's probably unnecessary, kind of on the run. I think he had Cy Wallace sooner out of the backfield if he sees it. But your defense has played great. I know you don't want to throw a pick and give them another possession until Eastern shows they can move the ball. At this point, it's kind of a bend, don't break.
Second interception of the year for Boston Webb. And it comes at a big time, and it gives solid field position, finally, it feels like, for this Beaver Eastern team to work. Low snap.
And
Ball's fumbled. They might give it right back.
Yep. I do believe Danville has the football.
And they have it.
You make a great play defensively. You bobble a snap, and you give the ball right back to them where they just threw the pick from.
Owen Gronberg with the recovery. And Danville, they have the ball taken away from them. They get it immediately right back on an error on the snap.
I don't expect to see a pass this drive.
Okay. Just run it.
After
the rest
the
of the
last
way?
pick, just run the ball. Do what you've been doing best. I know you want to show some different things. Like here, you've got 3 receivers out wide on the far side. There's only 2 DBs out there.
High snap. Hackman holds it in, and Aidan Burke booms his way close to the 50.
Burke's going to get 4.
Carson Barber, the tackle. That's his 3rd of the day. At the 49, the ball will go here on 2nd and 6. So Danville lucks out. They're able to get the ball right back after their turnover, and it just seems like with that sort of luck, they're just going to keep on going. And you said it. Just minimize mistakes. And how do you do that? Run the football.
Yeah, you do what you've done all year long. Run the football. You know, we've dealt with it with Lucas for the last decade. Run people over. And that's what we're seeing the Danville Blue Devils do here tonight.
22-zip. Hackman another snap. It's an option. He'll pitch it over to Wallace. Breaks 1 tackle, and then he gets sandwiched between 2. Brady Moore, the first to get to him. And I think it was Carson Peters who got to him second.
It absolutely was Carson Peters. But, I mean, it's only a yard. But at the same time, it's forward progress. You're not going backwards. You're still going forward. You're giving yourself a chance to make a play on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and then a 4th down play as well.
So 3rd down and medium, right at midfield. Chris Mosier in motion. It's a high snap. There's another fumble scooped up by Cyren Wallace. If he gets the first down, okay, he's 1 yard short, but what a play that would have been.
How about the fact that he was able to scoop it up, made 4 guys miss at the line of scrimmage, catches in the air, spin move, sidestep, almost. If he runs through the tackle of number 34, Brady Moore, he might take that to the house.
Wow, Cyren Wallace makes this 4th down and 1, and obviously Danville, they're going to want to go for this. Their punter last week was a little shaken up on the defensive side, Nolan Ridgeway, so they don't have him this week to kick
Byers.
punts. They've got Byers who's going to punt, but he's going to take this handoff instead and give him a first down.
Yeah, just lower the head, get a first down. You only get 2 yards on it, but 2 yards is all you need, really. You only needed 1, you got 2. And that's the thing about Danville. You've got Byers. You can put Aidan Burke in that exact same position, and he's going to have the exact same outcome.
Hackman back out to the field with the play call. Byers goes back to the sideline. See what they line up in here. A couple of bodies on the right side. But Burke is on the right hip, and now Lucas will go into motion. 2 receivers near side, Payne and Mickley. Here goes Aidan Burke, the senior, flag thrown on this play. There's another big truck by the senior, but this one looks like it's going to be going back.
I want to say it's going to be a hold out here on the edge. I didn't quite see it. Yep, it is going to be a hold. Got an injury, unfortunately, for Wyatt Richardson down, slow to get up, limping off the field. And he has been really their offense and defense tonight.
Yeah, and that's a guy we've been talking about a lot just because he's been making tackles, he's been making catches, and now he'll trot out. But I talked about this last week. These guys want to play, and you're going to see him come back out here. He just threw his helmet on the sideline.
He just told Coach, I'm done.
He is sitting right by the field of play at the 40-yard line. Now he'll walk back with the trainer. Here we go with a carry for Wes Payne, who is full go today, and he's inside the red zone. And it just feels like the crowd cheered a little bit louder for Wes Payne just because of what he's been through the last couple of weeks.
And how about you take it almost 39 yards on the carry?
Timeout by Eastern. So Wes Payne, talk about him a little bit, went down in the Devil Dog game with a concussion. He was taken out on a stretcher.
Yeah.
And to think that we're in week 14, it was 4 weeks ago, and he's out playing, no restrictions.
And to think about the importance that he has for this team. You've seen there, they ran the old inside reverse that Lucas likes to run, or that these other wing T, as we'll call them, teams like to run. Line up 2 wing backs, you hand it off to one guy, the other guy comes inside from the opposite direction, takes it, and he had an 18-wheeler could have drove through that hole and could have led him down the field. And I tell you what, if he maybe makes his decision a little bit sooner on which way he wanted to cut, he might have been able to take that to the house. If he would have ran off the hip of his blocker a little quicker, he probably scores. He waited a little bit too long to make that cut, gets chased down inside the red zone, and Danville's knocking on the door again.
So coming out of the timeout, the Blue Devils are already up 3 scores. Can they add another early in this game? Not quite the scoring we saw from them 2 weeks ago in their 60-2 win over Notre Dame, but there's a team in the same conference, and they're doing a pretty good job here as well, as Burke is taken down as Richardson quickly back into the game after going down earlier.
Yeah, and he makes a tackle there. We said he's one of the reasons they're playing so well defensively. But Burke still gets tackled, but he gets 5 on it.
Getting close to halfway done here in the second quarter. 6.5 minutes to go. Lucas in motion. Rolling out to the right. Hackman throws. Foray. Ball's tipped and picked. Second interception of the day for Jacob Hackman, and this could be taken back for 6 to the 20. 10, 5. Carson Peters is in the end zone.
Carson Peters is their best player offensively, and now he's their only touchdown scorer so far. And the concentration for him to get this interception and make the play is what was crucial there. And we have a football game again.
So Carson Peters takes it the length of the field to give Eastern a score. Needed something like that. We talked about them getting big plays on offense, but how about that on defense to spur your team on?
An 82-yard pick six.
And Eastern, one of the few teams you see in Division 7 that will kick extra points.
And let's talk about, you have a situation as the point's going to be up and wide right, no good.
So Brady Moore, no good on that. 22-6, Eastern. They get one on the board. They're now within 2 scores of the Danville Blue Devils here on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
So a pick 6 from Eastern makes this a 22-6 game. Danville still with the lead, but just 2 scores now as we see the Danville return team on the field for the first time tonight. Back to return for Ray and Wallace. Here's the kickoff. Brady Moore missed an extra point earlier. Here's a bobbled one as Byers picks it up just in time. He's hit hard.
Well, and Josh Byers tried to catch that line drive. That's one of those. As that up man, I know you're a fullback. Let that go through. Let it get to Cyren Wallace. Let him field that on one hop because that ball almost bounced all the way back to the Eastern side. And if they recover that, this is a completely different football game.
So now we see Jacob Hackman, 2 picks already here today for him. He's done a good job taking care of the football up until today. See if he can get himself back into a rhythm and get this run game involved, maybe still try to make a couple throws and just be wiser. Here's the Blue Devils' next drive as Burke goes past the 40. Tackle made by Bronson Kellar, number 79 in white.
Burke with 4. Expect a heavy dose of Byers, Wallace, and Burke for this drive. Because you're up 22-6. You do not want to give Eastern any more momentum. Drive down the field, score with no time left, and then get the ball coming out of half.
5.5 minutes to go. Ashton Spalding lined up at fullback. Here goes Payne in motion. They'll go to Spalding. He's got some space. He'll have the first down, and into enemy territory he goes. Boston Webb the tackle. Burke will get a break. Haven't seen Wallace go out there yet. Looks like he is in the huddle. He was hidden, one of the smaller guys on the field, but he is out to the right hip of Jacob Hackman. Just one receiver. Plenty of blockers here for Cy Wallace. Wallace breaks through a couple and is now inside the 35-yard line after that carry.
14 yards there for Wallace.
One of the top tacklers for Eastern, Declan Davis. First time we've said his name today. He gets in there.
Does a great job of making the tackle. the blocking for Danville and Wallace's ability to just find the smallest crevice to get through is unmatched.
Hackman under center. New set of downs at the 34-yard line. They'll give to Cy Wallace again, and a good job by the defensive line to keep him where he's at. Bryden Tomlinson.
Great job by Tomlinson there to crash that hole, not let Wallace get up to speed, and keep your hands on him. Get him on, keep him on.
So just 1 yard, 2nd down and 9. Lucas will line up as a receiver, trips near side. Payne back in motion. Burke runs into his own offensive lineman, and he's stopped for a short gain. Trey Kelly.
They're going to give him 2. Eastern's got a little momentum now defensively. You're not seeing many big plays out of the run game. That pick 6 kind of rejuvenates them. Can they get a stop here and get the ball back before half? Because if they get it back here and score again before half, hey now.
3rd down and 7. They've thrown 2 interceptions, and it's 3rd and medium, so do they go for the pass here still? Answer is no. It's a misdirection to Cy Wallace. Plenty of space for him to work. He's close to the 20, and it looks like that's where he'll be. 1st down.
12 yards, and he's just so slippery. He's so hard to bring down.
So sniffing the red zone right now, the Danville Blue Devils. 22-6 to score. All 22 of those points have come in the first quarter. No scores here in the second frame. Hackman tosses, another give to Wallace. Breaks inside, and this defense for Eastern starting to get to the freshman.
Yeah, they're getting to him. Size a small back. He's a fast back, but he's a small back. Those big hits are eventually going to take a toll on somebody his size.
The tackle was made by Jack Montgomery.
5'7", 145 is what they have Cy Wallace listed as the freshman Montgomery in on the tackle.
Yeah, freshman on freshman there in a regional championship. Tell you what, this rain is, can't really see it on the screen, I don't think, but it's coming down. There's Burke on another give. Close to the 15 he goes. Another 3rd down incoming.
Looks like they'll give him 3.
Cade Leist, number 55, the sophomore for Eastern, gets the tackle, and we now have a timeout on the field. I want to take a second to thank our sponsors bringing us here today, our Danville playoff coverage sponsors. Special people bringing you each and every single one of these games here on the OH Report. Thank you to the Bottleneck Bar and Grill, Valley UTV, Danville Tire and Alignment, Danville Feed and Supply, the Hangout in Danville, Knox Community Hospital, Killbuck Savings Bank, and First Federal. So, Josh, right now it feels like Danville's offense has stagnated. They've thrown a couple interceptions. That has obviously thrown them down, but the running game has also been stopped a little bit. What do you think's changed in this Eastern defense?
Momentum. Momentum has switched. They came out, they put up 22 points in the first quarter. They've thrown 2 interceptions now, the most recent one being a pick 6. Getting that pick 6 gets you right back into this football game, changes your thought process. You're down 22-0 in the first quarter. A lot of these kids on the other sideline are like, man, we're gonna get our teeth kicked in here. Pick 6, different ball game, but
here goes Jacob Hackman on 3rd down. It looks like he doesn't have enough. He is close, though.
Looks like he had to get to the 10. It's going to be 4th and 1 again. They're going to give him 5 yards on the carry.
Yeah, so they're stopped at the 11. The line to gain is the 10. Here we go, 4th down and 1.
Josh Byers on the field again. They're going to stay in the gun. Interesting call here by Coach Bloom.
Look at all those blockers to the left, though. They're going to ride them, and there's a first down. Aidan Burke gets in.
Burke going to get 2 again. I have them now for 11 first half first downs.
That's a good day's work. It's a good half's work.
To 1 on the other side for Eastern.
Yet the score wouldn't lead you to believe that.
No, it
Pick
would
six
not.
definitely helped Eastern.
But again, a touchdown here with a 2-point conversion because we know they're not going to kick a field goal. You come out, you get the ball. It can almost be demoralizing.
Clock is rolling. Just close to a minute to go. Wes Payne approaching the end zone. Did he get in? No, he's down at the half-yard line. Brady Moore stopped him short.
Give Wes Payne 8. But how about you've covered these guys. You said 4 of their last 5 games or 5 of their last 6 games. How about the difference that he's made here in the first half tonight with 2 big carries offensively?
I think I said 3 of their last 4 games. I think you're right. I think it is 5 of the last 6, actually. So let's see. Centerburg, week 8. Fredericktown, week 9, and then the 3 playoff games. So, yep. 30 seconds to go. Danville's not stopping this clock. They want to run this all the way down, and it looks like Coach Bloom's going to call a timeout with 1 second to go on the play clock. Yep, that's exactly what he'll do. Timeout. 17.2 seconds left. Just don't want to give Eastern too much time if you get a score here.
Yeah, you get a score here. You want to give them as little time as possible because they have a quarterback in Manley that can sling the football if given the opportunity. He hasn't really had the opportunity to throw the ball downfield yet tonight. The one throw he did make downfield was well defended by Danville. He had a couple little short throws that he was off on. We haven't seen him be able to kind of show off the arm talent yet this evening. You don't want to give him the opportunity if you don't have to.
So Danville, if you're just joining us, they scored the first 3 touchdowns of the game, all in the first quarter on their first 3 drives. Since then, 2 interceptions. And this drive right here, where they're trying to get back into rhythm, they had a pick 6 on their last drive that was taken back 82 yards by Carson Peters.
And how about this? After this play right here, we assume this ball is going up the middle or Hackman's going to come. Hackman's probably going to keep this. I would think they would not throw the ball in this situation.
17.2 seconds left.
Do they go weak side where he's got to beat one man?
He's going to go strong side. And he'll get in. Second rushing touchdown for Jacob Hackman. Josh, that now makes it 8 touchdowns in the playoffs alone for Jacob Hackman.
How about that's their 30th rushing attempt here in the first half?
Gotta like it. How many passes, though?
5.
2 of them were picks.
2 of them picks. 4, sorry. 2 picks, 1 incompletion, and then the completion to Cy Wallace down the sideline on the little screen.
So Danville's run game working. Maybe second half mission will be to get that passing game to look a little bit better. Hackman rolls out. He'll throw here, and there's another interception. So not looking too hot for Hackman right now throwing the football.
At all.
28-6, though. Danville scores, and they're now up 3 scores again here on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Very similar score going on elsewhere at Oroville High School. Hillsdale up 27-7 on Cuyahoga Heights. So these are the two games you get to show you live and free today. The rest of them will be on a delayed broadcast that you can watch around 11 o'clock tonight. Return will be taken to the 25-yard line by Tucker Leist, and there's just 8 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Now, if you're Eastern, take a knee, don't throw a pick, run the football, don't throw a pick, or you take a shot and see if you can put points on the board.
Just one timeout left for each team, and highly doubt if you do shoot for the end zone or you want to go to the end zone, you're going to get any sort of short playoff to call that timeout.
And an update, Perkins 14, Shelby 7 at half.
Ontario,
sorry.
Did you watch the end of that game? Did you see who won?
Listen.
I know it was a crazy game, I'll give you that.
Two of the best teams in that division in the state played at Arlen Field last week.
And here we are all the way down at Logan to bring you this game. There's an incompletion, so I proven wrong right there. They will get another play with 5 seconds left.
It's interesting to see that play call, too, from the other side where the 2 times they've run that screen, Danville's bottled it up. The most yards they've gotten is 4 yards on a passing play. Take a shot, run the ball. You got to get some sort of rhythm going.
Will this be the last play of the first half? Danville 28, Eastern 6. Can they do anything about it here? Shot down the field, high in the air. One-on-one, passes hauled in by Richardson. 0's on the clock. He won't get to the end zone, but a good momentum booster for the Eastern Eagles going into the locker rooms knowing that they could complete some passes downfield. 28-6, Danville with the lead. Coming up, the bands here on the OH Report.
Defending K-Mac champs, play here.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
couldn't do anything after that. Before that, they had 25 yards of offense. What? What?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Under the direction of Mr. Andrew Gazile, we are proud to present the Danville High School Blue Devil Band. Tonight's show almost seniors, but this runs from their middle school days. We're starting our show with a duet featuring our two seniors, Kenny Snipper and Bryce Coolshade. In this first song, we'll show you that the Blue Devil Band, it's always a good time. The Blue Devil Band is addicted to playing and dancing for you. It's a poison paradise. So please, enjoy as we jam out to Toxic by Britney Spears. The Blue Devil Band is going to rock out to a tune. You'll want to fasten your seatbelts for this song recorded by Rascal Flatts. Start your engines and enjoy our dance chart. Life is a highway. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for Logan Danville Blue Devils Band!
Defending K-Mac champs, play here.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
brought to you by Valley ATV in Danville. Jonathan Langdon alongside Josh Banks, Logan Hines, our spotter today, and our camera operator Shane Young, bringing you this live and free coverage on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok today. A 28-6 score. Blue Devils with the lead. They're threatening for their fourth straight running clock if they can get another score on the board, and this is just a team that has run through every single opponent so far this postseason.
They've run through every single opponent they've seen since they got beat by Northmore earlier in the year. They haven't had any competition since then, and the postseason, I think, has been the worst.
Yeah, so right now with that 28-6 lead, they took a 22-0 lead into the second quarter, but after that, Danville kind of stagnated a little bit. 2 interceptions thrown by Jacob Hackman. He, in fact, had a third one thrown on a 2-point try. I won't count as that. But still, just not seeing as much success through the air as they did the first couple of weeks. And run game has been able to pick them up. We'll take a look at the stats here. So run game has helped them out for sure. You're going to see here 247 rush yards. I think the biggest thing here, first downs. Danville 11, Eastern 1.
They had 1 first down, and it was on the penalty. On 4th and 7, the roughing the kicker they got called. They got the first down. They got a 5-yard push after that play. Other than that, they haven't moved the ball at all offensively. The 64 passing yards you see, 60 of those just came on that last play. Before that, they had 4 yards passing.
So right now, both teams fairly composed. Only 3 penalties combined total for these two sides. But right now, the only statistic you see Eastern winning is the turnover section. And also passing yards. This is a team that loves to throw the football, but still 64 yards. That's a little bit lower than standard here in the first half for an Eastern team.
It's a quarterback that came in with almost 2,800 yards passing and 42 touchdowns. He has yet to find the end zone today, and he's only got 64 yards through the air. And a Danville team that's, as we said in the beginning, and I'll rephrase it a little bit, trust the process. Play your game, and that's what they've done. Those 247 rushing yards are on 30 carries.
Let's take a look at our OH Report scoreboard before we kick things off in about 2.5 minutes. Hillsdale up 29-7 over Cuyahoga Heights. The winner of that game will take on the winner of this game, and if these scores hold, what a matchup that would be for you OH Report lovers. 2 teams that we covered all year.
Yep.
Covered each and every single home game, and now we're going to could potentially see them duke it out maybe at like a Clear Fork High School, maybe Madison High School for a state semifinal in Division 7. So that's huge. Both teams up big at the half. And then also Massillon Washington, a team that has decided to play a couple of teams out of state. They've played pretty well against those teams out of state. They come back into the OHSAA for the playoffs, and here they are in a 7-7 game with Big Walnut.
Big Walnut, a very talented D4 squad who really kind of took it to Ashland last week. Bernhard didn't have a great game against Big Walnut, and now they're not scoring the points that we normally see them score. But, boy, they've held Washington to 7. How about you and I were talking about it? We've got 5 teams left. 4 of them are winning. 3 of them are winning. 1's losing, 1's tied.
Really good if you're an OH Report fan, and the efficiency from all 5 teams that we cover. And Big Walnut, big game for them, obviously, against Massillon Washington. Can they hold on? There's the question. Northmore, Grandview Heights, that's another game where Northmore is on top 21-6. So they could be very well on their way to their first ever, by the way, regional championship. And that's a fellow KMAC school representing with this Danville team up big and Northmore up 2 scores. So that's the last one that we'll talk about. Did you get a score update from Ontario and Perkins?
Last update I have was Perkins 14, Ontario 7 at half. I haven't heard anything since. I might try to jump on a couple things here, see what I can find out. But that sounds like it's a phenomenal football game as well. It really looks like all the games that are out there, as we see an update here. Big Walnut 13,
wow.
Massillon Washington 7.
And I apologize if you plan on watching this later tonight. I should have given a warning that we were going to share some of these scores, but too late now. Big Walnut up a score on Massillon Washington. We'll keep an eye on that. 28-6 here between Danville and Eastern. Blue Devils will start with the football. So good start for Danville to find themselves on offense to start the third quarter, and got to take it back to last week. They were up 14-0 at half. They broke out. Ended up winning 46-6. Could we see the very same thing here, Josh?
I mean, their offense has really been fluid. They've done everything correct other than the few interceptions that they've thrown. They put up one score here, and we've got a running clock again, and it would be their 4th running clock of the postseason.
In a row.
Yeah.
Levi Ferre back to return along with Cyren Wallace. Here for the Blue Devils, Brady Moore kicks it off, and this may be going out of bounds.
It is.
And that it is. So that will draw the flag. And good starting field position for the Danville Blue Devils, who will trot out their offense as Aidan Burke goes out there, the senior. He'll start at running back duties here for the second half. We just heard the official, his microphone, it was taken over by wind, and that just tells you the conditions right now on the field. Rain is moving sideways right now down there, and conditions not great for throwing the football. Danville, they can kind of trust their run game here, as Hackman under center will get us going again. First play from scrimmage in the third quarter goes to Aidan Burke. He's immediately met by the defensive line for Eastern.
And that's a great job, a great start here to the second half for Eastern.
Cade
making that play.
Cade Lice with the tackle. Second down and 9 after that 1-yard gain. I'm going back to some of our score updates here, but I'm not a KMAC historian, but I would have to ask a couple of people that I know when the last time, if there was ever a time, we've seen 2 KMAC schools in a Final Four together in the same year. KMAC's very young, too, so I would highly doubt it.
Don't know that we have.
Here's Aidan Burke pushing close to the first down marker. 3 yards to go here as we get to third down. Tackle made by number 1, Jack Montgomery, the freshman.
Montgomery, a really talented freshman on the defensive side of things. 60 tackles, 14 TFLs, and 5 sacks coming in, and he's got multiple tackles here tonight.
Here comes third down. Danville breaks the huddle. The run game had 247 yards in half number 1, and they'll keep on churning here. Hackman has 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground. He'll run this as well. There is a flag thrown, though, so hold everything.
We're going to have a sideline warning.
So sideline warning won't do anything with the football. It'll just be where it was, where Hackman was taken out of bounds, which is the 45-yard line, so 4th and 2. Punt team's going to come on for the first time today. Nolan Ridgway is the normal punter for Danville. He is out with injury for special teams. He's playing some defense today. It's Josh Byers who will punt. He punted all of last year for Danville. First punt of the day for the Blue Devils, and that almost gets blocked. There's a flag on the field. This ball will land into the end zone, almost stopped inside the 5. We'll see what the flag's about.
How about the boot by Byers?
Just not able to make it die before hitting the end zone. Officials convening here. We'll see what the call's about. Whatever it is, the penalty was declined. See one of the officials signaling as such. Illegal participation. That's not something that I'm familiar with.
I don't think I've ever heard that call. Too many men on the field is what I'm being told.
So that's a fancy way of saying that, I would presume.
A fancy way of saying too many guys on the football field.
Penalty, nonetheless, was declined. They'll take the ball at the 20. Now we've got more whistles and more zebra shirts meeting in the middle. Gotta wonder what this could be about.
Well, the ball's on the 20 due to it going into the end zone.
Penalty was declined, so it should stay here. And finally, no, they're going to move up 5 yards. So I guess coach decided. So
5
Eastern,
yards from the
yeah.
spot.
So Eastern declined the penalty, but it was not a penalty that you can decline. So it will be 5 yards after the touchback. 25-yard line is where Eastern will start their first drive of the second half. They'll give to Brady Moore, and Moore gets 2.
One of the more successful run plays of the evening right there by Moore to get 2 yards. Perkins 21-7 now over Ontario, by the way, after 3, or in the third.
So Perkins starting to break away there. I'll be interested to see how that one ends up statistically. Bodpin Miller took a beating last week against Shelby. Wonder if that carried over into today against Perkins. Here is 2nd down and 8. Shot down the field looking for Richardson. One-handed catch. Not able to be brought in. Pass is incomplete, and Wes Payne there with the breakup.
A lot of contact there, but good no call, I think. Update. Gentleman sitting next to me sent out a text to the KMAC commissioner. If Danville and Northmore both win, it will be the first time that they've ever had 2 teams in the state semis in history.
Yeah, and KMAC, I figured it was as such because it's a very young league. I believe it started in mid-2010s.
Yeah.
It was kind of a branch off from the MOAC that went through some changes. Here's 3rd down, and there's an incompletion up the middle looking for Peters. So Danville gets the stop.
What I find intriguing about that drive, if you're Eastern, is I know you only got 2 yards. I understand that. But you didn't hand the ball off again the rest of the drive. You went run, pass, pass. You got to run the ball to open up your passing game. You can't let these teams come out and drop 8 guys into coverage and stop your quarterback.
And thinking about it now, how many times today have we seen drives for Beaver Eastern where it has been just that sequence? Run, pass, pass.
Yep.
Here's 4th down. The punt from Eastern. Solid punt this time. He shanked one in the first half. This one will land right with Richardson. Takes a Danville bounce. Scooped up at the 42-yard line where Danville will take the drive.
And I know he's just downing a punt, but how about Richardson again? Almost made the big play on the sideline there on that drive. Downs the punt there. That young man is all over the field for Eastern.
Blue Devils did not score on their first drive of the second half. Here they are with a second attempt. Look at this formation. Burke just behind the quarterback. They'll go to him. And he pushes forward to the 45, it looks like.
They'll give him 5. And he just runs so hard. He lowers his head, and he runs very, very hard.
Cade Leist in on the tackle. Well, he comes into this week with 61 tackles, a team-high 23 tackles for loss. So he's one of those guys that is the first to the ball carriers. And that time he was just that.
Him, Richardson, Ryan Smith have all done a great job interior tonight making plays.
Here's 2nd down and 5. Man in motion, that's Levi Ferre. Botched play. It was delayed, but they did get it off to Ferre, and he's going to lose yards. And there goes Braden Tomlinson.
Loss of 4 on the play.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and pretty darn long, considering what we've seen earlier in the game from Danville. 3rd and 9.
3rd and pass, but they've struggled to pass.
Yep, exactly. So do you fall into that trap once more if you're Coach Bloom, or do you just keep trying to run the football? Haven't seen Cyren Wallace much here in the second half. They'll throw short to Aidan Burke. He'll go to the 45, but they're short of the first down.
Yeah, he's going to get 3 yards on that catch.
So conservative play, and it looks like the punt team will come on again.
I don't know that Hackman's going to look downfield if he has to throw the ball, throwing the interceptions that he's thrown. His one completion was on a little late, delayed screen to Wallace earlier. His big play was.
This Blue Devil offense has gone cold. This is Beaver Eastern's time to strike. Another punt nearly blocked. Does get over. And this takes a couple of nice bounces inside the 10. This will be stopped at the 7.
Great Blue Devil roll on the punt by Byers.
Here it is again, brought to you by Danville Feed and Supply. 2 players could have easily gotten that block. Byers just got it past both, and there's the result.
Both teams kind of struggling to block on special teams. Danville's almost got themselves a couple blocks. They had the roughing the kicking earlier, or the running into the kicker earlier. Both Byers punts nearly blocked tonight. Can the Eastern offense figure it out?
Now the question is, can they still take advantage even with this poor field position after that punt by Byers? 4 receivers here on first down and 10. They break the cycle of run, pass, pass, and it could result in a safety. Ball is out. Looks like the officials have marked it a fumble.
Oh, that's close. I think that should be a safety. I don't know.
Oh, man, yeah, we're going to take a look at this play, and I saw one official throw the possession flag.
I don't know that should have been a pass. I think that's a safety.
I think you're right. But it's called incomplete, second down and 10 after the, quote, incompletion, unquote. Danville will feel they got robbed of a safety right there. How do they respond? Throw down the field. They force an incompletion. That's a start.
And that's just, you're throwing it where there's 4 Blue Devils in the play.
Looking for Peters there. He had a pick 6. It's the only score of the game so far for Eastern on defense. Now we got third down and 10 after 2 straight incompletions. Still at the 7 right now for the Eagles.
And your third and 10, again, you're a passing down. You can't hand the ball off here. You have to throw it. You have to take a shot. And at some point, this big play is going to happen for Eastern.
Here's 4 receivers on third down and long. And a flag
Delay
thrown.
game, half the distance. No, they got a timeout off. Official on the other side is going to say he got a timeout off.
So they did get it off, fortunately for them, but that is a timeout spent with 7:35 to go in the third.
And it's a great job by this Danville defense to really contain the big plays. Again, we spoke with Coach Bloom. He said that's something he wanted to do, and it's something that they've done. Other than the pick 6, defensively, they haven't allowed a big play yet tonight.
Shout out to Shane Young. He's showing you the wind right now. It's in Beaver's face as they are trying to throw into it.
That's tough.
Yeah. We saw that last night, Thursday Night Football, and some interesting weather, to say the least, between Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Game started out clear. Next thing you know, there's 2 inches of snow on the ground, and they're trampling through snow to score touchdowns.
So with the wind in their face, can Eastern convert on a 3rd and 10?
Big play.
5 rushers for Danville. None of them get to the quarterback. Pass complete. There is a flag thrown.
Did he step out of bounds before he made the catch?
And that looks like it's going to be the call.
Are they going to call offensive pass interference?
Take a look at this again. So they went near side. They threw it down the field. Double coverage, mind you, and there's
That's a tough
light
call.
shove. Yeah, on Foray.
That's a tough call. I don't know that there was enough contact there to while they're talking about this, can you play that again? I don't see enough contact here to make that call in that situation.
Here it is one more time.
Man, that's a really, really, really tough call and a really close call. It looked like he maybe took the right hand into the shoulder pad of Foray and just turned him just enough for the official to be able to see it.
So that will make it 4th down, and for the second time today, Eastern is punting out of their end zone.
Hillsdale now up 37-7.
Falcons piling it on in their game. Danville looking to get the football back. There's another shanked punt, and
That's going to go out at the 7-yard line.
Oh, man. That doesn't even get past the line of scrimmage.
That's the pressure. Danville's got pressure on the punter all night long. You get that pressure coming at your face when you're in your own end zone. Honestly, Jonathan, in that situation, you're almost better off letting that ball go past you and taking the 2 points.
Yeah, so instead of 2 points and taking Josh Banks' advice right there, you could be giving up 7 right here on a 1st and goal on the first play of the drive.
1st and goal from the 8 for Aidan, Burke and company.
They did give him a yard on the punt. Snap, give, Aidan, Burke. He scored already today. He's now inside the 5 on that run. Tackle made by number 44, Declan Davis.
Going to gain 4 on the play, but now this is Danville's wheelhouse for the offense that they want to run.
Here's 2nd and goal. A score could make it a running clock. They would need a 2-point conversion as well, but here we go with Burke still trying to fight in. And how does he find himself in? Touchdown, Danville.
I mean, what else can you say about Aidan Burke? He was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Normally you say, look at the O-line pushing him in. No, that's just extra effort and the legs still churning for Aidan Burke.
2 touchdowns now for Burke, the senior. 2 touchdowns earlier in the game for Hackman, the senior. Wallace has the 5th. Here's a 2-point try. This would make it a running clock. Payne in motion. They'll go to Burke again up the middle. There's a flag. So hold everything. He is in, but it's going to go back.
Motion? The same motion they've been running all night long. I'm not sure if I missed somebody moving, but that seems to be the same motion.
Here's your second look, and it looks like we didn't even – this is the touchdown, in fact. This is Burke fighting to get in.
So kind of informed it could have potentially been a lineman putting his hand down into the ground while that guy was coming in motion, makes it an illegal shift.
So here's the 2-point try, and they're going to throw to Aidan Burke. There's another interception, and thought about taking it back. I don't think he's allowed to right there. So that's another interception. Carson Peters picks him off again. 2 of his interceptions, Hackman, have been on 2-point tries, so they won't go in the stat book.
But that's still 4.
Yeah, still 4 picks. 34-6, no running clock quite yet. Danville needs 1 more. They lead it over Eastern here on the OH Report in a regional championship.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Coming off a drive where Danville scores for the first time in the second half, and they started that drive at the 8-yard line on a shanked punt by Eastern, pretty much giving them 6 points. They couldn't get the 2-point conversion, so we are not on a running clock yet. There's a bobble on the kickoff return. That's the second time we've seen that today from Eastern, but they do recover and get it to the 35-yard line on the kickoff.
Yeah, Richardson makes something out of nothing there. Again, he's really been there. He's been their bright spot so far in what's been a struggle of a game offensively and defensively.
So here we go, seeing them take over again. There is a player down as well. So there is an injury, and that's Ashton Spalding down to the turf.
He's had a couple good carries tonight for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, last week they used him more as a blocking tight end. This week they're giving him the ball a little bit more. He's listed as a receiver, so he's kind of just doing everything, and that's just the story of this entire Danville team that buys into whatever Coach Bloom tells them to do. Yeah, you've got Josh Byers, who you could list as a fullback, but he lined up at receiver last week. That's just how Danville plays.
Carson Proper, he'll line up in the backfield, get some carries. He'll line up at receiver. He can line up at tight end and block for you. The best thing about Danville is all of their skill guys can play every single skill position.
So Spalding seems to be okay. He's walking off in his own power. That's good to see. 15 in black. On his own weight right now. As he's off the field, makes way for the Danville defense to try and make another stop. Here's Eric Manley to lead the drive, the Offensive Player of the Year in the Southeast Ohio District. That time he stopped for a loss.
And guess who? Josh Byers in the backfield with a host of Blue Devils.
Looked like Ronberg got there first. Byers definitely helped, and also at the end, number 60, Greg Wilson, had the finishing touches.
The first time we've seen Eastern try to go kind of to that option look to get Manley out in space, and doesn't work there against this Blue Devils front.
Second down and 10. No gain on the play on first. 34-6. Danville with the lead. Here's a quick throw near side, complete to Boston Webb. Had an interception earlier in the game. That time gets a reception. And it looks like he is short by just a yard.
Yeah, they're going to give him 9 yards on the completion. Stepped out just before. A yard's been tough to come by for the Eagles, though.
If they can convert here, it'd be just their second first down of the game.
Yes.
Trips up top. One receiver near side. Here's the handoff, and Danville not going to be able to get him in time. So there is that second first down. It comes to Brady Moore. Brady Moore last week saved the Eagles' season. They were back down against Connaughton Valley to a 4th and 15. He got a 17-yard carry. Oh, as we continue going here, and pass intended for Webb, incomplete.
Looked very similar to the pick six that Peters had earlier off of the hands of Webb. Defender could have snagged it. That's one thing I've noticed so far about the secondary, I think, for Danville. They are rejuvenated. They are playing very well today, but they've dropped probably 3 or 4 interceptions here this evening.
So they went no huddle, it seemed, on that last play. This time they take their time after the clock stops. 5:29 to go in the third. Same lick as they had to get the first down a couple plays ago. Trips up top, receiver near side. More to the right hip of the quarterback, Manley. Throw down the field is bobbled. Hands team struggling right now.
That's another one of those probably should have been intercepted off the tip. But here's the thing. If you're Danville, you didn't get the interception, but it's 3rd and long. You're forcing them to make another big play, which, again, they have not done so far tonight.
Now we see 3rd down and 10, 2 incompletions. I feel like I'm repeating it over and over again, but probably not. Just the 3rd and longs right now for Beaver Eastern in this game. They're killing them. Having to make up 10 yards pretty much every single play to struggle. Got some trickery going here. They will get the 1st down as the receiver, Tucker Leist, finds his fellow receiver, Carson Peters, for a 1st down.
And that's an interesting play call. And per the situation, I mean, I know you want to get the 1st down, but it's almost that needs to be a bigger play if you're going to run something like that. That needs to be a bigger shot downfield.
Could see one here. Instead, Manley will use his legs to get 9. So that was 1st down. Here comes 2nd down. Clock continues to run, and it's hurry-up offense right now, as it should be. Manley getting the offense familiar with the play call. Manley wanted a quick throw, and now he'll just kind of chuck it up. Could have been another interception in there. Ridgeway with the deflection.
And again, it's kind of you're looking for Peters. As we get an update, Ontario trailing Perkins 21-13 to start the 4th quarter. How about that battle as well?
Yeah, Ontario starting to chip their way back into that one. And also Big Walnut still up 14-7 on Massillon, and Hillsdale's up 37-13 against Cuyahoga Heights. And Northmore 35, Grandview Heights 6. There are your updates. 3rd down and 1. Shotgun, they're going to throw on 3rd down and 1. It's incomplete. Looking for Tucker Leist again.
3rd and short. Try to throw it. Yeah, that one shocks me.
I guess they've got another play to get it. But you can't guarantee a yard against this Danville rush defense.
Well, and to me, you go with your bread and butter right there. You've gotten a yard, 3 times now when you've needed it. Go with your bread and butter, get your yard. If you don't get it, then maybe do something weird on 4th down.
And here it is. They go shotgun on 4th and 1. Manley takes it. It's a low snap. There's a flag
False
thrown.
start.
And that right there is why a 3rd and 1 pass hurts you. Because just one flag, you're back now to 4th and 6.
A final update for you guys. Not something we're covering, but Kirtland takes down Doughton 41-0.
That's a statement win, too, because that was one of the games I had been told by people that I know that was going to be a barn burner, and just to hear that score, 41-zip.
41-6. I'm sorry, Doughton did score, but still, 41-6. 2 of the best teams in that division as well, by the way.
Quick tempo here. 4th down for Eastern. They take the snap, and there is another whistle. Timeout. So Eastern will talk it over. Maybe try to just throw off Danville, and score remains 34-6. Danville with the lead. Eastern wants to try and score because that will keep Danville from getting the ball back and turning this into a running clock game.
Heads up, Marion Local's going to extend the winning streak.
So they made it 60 last week, and now it's going to be 61. Is that correct?
It's 21-0 in the 4th quarter over Minster, which is the same score they beat them by the first time around.
Wonder if we'll see improvement because that game is still going on.
One more touchdown's improvement for them, right?
Yep, exactly. I wonder how that affects some of these other teams in Division 7, just seeing the scores from Marion Local and just understanding what they've been able to accomplish, not only this year, obviously, but the last 3-4 years.
How about this? Ontario, Bogdan Miller runs it in from a yard out. They just recovered the onside kick.
So they could potentially tie it up. And on 4th down here, Danville makes the stand on an incompletion. So the hangout first down will go to Danville, and their offense makes their way out to the field.
And if you're Danville, unless you get a big play, eat clock. It's 34-6. Run Burke, run Wallace, run Byers, run Spalding, run the 10 running backs that you have that you can put back there and give the ball to. Eat clock. If you score again, you get a running clock. If you don't, it's still 34-6.
But also, if you're Danville, keep them healthy.
Yes.
Haven't seen Cy Wallace nearly at all here in the second half, and you can tell that that's probably just out of caution. Don't want anything freakish to happen to your star freshman. And Aidan Burke, the senior, he's going to keep getting carries.
Aidan Burke is just a machine on the football field from the running back position.
And you want to get your seniors out there because even in a 20, 30-point game, they're playing some of their last games in their career. So whenever you can get them out there and just keep letting them get touches in a game that's in control, you'll love to see it. Hackman as well is one of those. He's going to pitch this to Payne on an option. The junior will not get to the 45.
It's going to be no gain. Yeah, no gain on the play.
Brady Moore at the tackle. Blue Devils now on 3rd and 6. 3:18 to go in the third. One score away from a running clock. Burke the carry. Breaks through the first level. He's in enemy territory to the 45. Actually, it looks like the 40 is where he'll end up.
A 15-yard run, and that's just the hard-nosed running by Burke. He ran through 3 guys when he got at the line of scrimmage. He is a very powerful back, but again, you see that speed that he has as well. If he gets into the open field, he'll outrun you too.
I want to apologize to everyone watching at home. I have a massive pole right in front of me where this play is going on, so I'm relying on my screen. Wasn't able to mark the yard line, but it is at the 40 here as they have a new set of downs, and they'll have a short pass to Aidan Mickley, the sophomore.
How about the one-handed catch right there? That was impressive with the left. He kind of pulled it in. It's a great catch by the sophomore.
2.5 minutes to go. So make it 2nd and 5.
And those are the kind of throws you want to make.
Short, conservative, away from the secondary that has been eating up Jacob Hackman, to be quite honest, here so far today. Levi Foray on a jet sweep, breaks the tackle, jukes out another, and Moore will bring him down inside the 25.
13 yards on the carry for Foray.
There's another senior starting to get some volume here in a 25. It's 28-point game.
15 first downs on the evening now for the Blue Devils.
Hackman with Burke to his right hip. 2 receivers, Payne and Mickley. This is given to Aidan Burke, and he'll get 3 yards, it looks like. Here's your look brought to you by Danville Feed and Supply. Haven't had too many big plays. Haven't used some replays. We'll get some in there. Getting closer to the 4th quarter. 1:20 to go.
Danville punches this in. We go to a running clock, and then you force Eastern to have to put points on the board to give themselves a shot.
Hackman rolls out to the right. And he had Payne, just let him a little too much.
Well, I tell you what. He had Payne, but he also had Aidan Mickley in the end zone with not a defender in sight.
Missed opportunity, but that's one of those passes where you're looking at your first option, and that's where you're going to throw the football. You're not really looking at much else.
Well, and here's the big thing. You talk to a lot of high school coaches in the area. They're going to tell you, hey, the first option is the option, and it's the only option we're looking for.
Clock stopped at 1:05 after that miscue. Wallace is back in the game, but they will go to Byers. And Byers will push ahead. To the 13 he goes. Looks like they'll mark him short, though. It's actually at the 14. 4th down incoming.
Give him 6. I mean, they're calling it 1. I'll call it the nose of the football.
That line to gain isn't necessarily right at the 14. It's more like the 13.5. So, yeah, pretty much half a yard here on 4th down. What will Danville opt for? Wallace will get a carry, and he'll easily have the first. To the 10 he goes. Clock will stop momentarily as the chains move, but after that, we may see Danville just run out this clock and move into the 4th quarter.
Northmore now with the running clock as they get a safety, go up 37-6 on Grandview Heights.
So 37-6 for the Golden Knights, looking for their first regional championship, and Danville up 34-6, looking for their 5th trip ever to the state Final Four, their first since 2017. They are 12 minutes away. We'll see if they can finish it off when we come back on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Danville's knocking on the door for another score. Give to Aidan Burke, and Aidan Burke has it. First play of the 4th quarter, goes for 6. Run that clock, Danville up to a 30-plus point lead.
His 3rd of the evening.
Have a day, Aidan. Feel like we talked to you too much, but we're probably going to talk to you again as our MVP.
I don't see how we couldn't after the evening that he's had.
The senior having a season. Aidan Burke, one of those unselfish guys last year. He knew how good he was. He knew that he could be a starting running back, but Cole DeLauder kind of let the way go. Oh, and here's a fumble here on the 2-point conversion. There was a whistle, so that looked a little weird. That was an interesting play, but the 2-point conversion is no good after all of that. Danville 40, Eastern 6.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Aidan Burke scored his 3rd touchdown of the game just a few moments ago to make it 40-6. After this kickoff, we will have a running clock the rest of the way unless Eastern can score here on this drive. So Aidan Burke with the 3rd touchdown. I just was about to talk about him just because last year he knew he could have been a starting running back for most other schools, but with a guy like Cole DeLauder that they had last year, decided to play number 2 behind him, waited for his turn, and this year he has ran with it. No pun intended.
Run with it indeed, and run with grit and anger and power is what Aidan Burke does. He's not going to beat you to a corner. He's going to beat you to the hole, and he's going to run you over.
That's why we call him Boom Burke. And Boom is going to boom his way to the press box after this one.
At this point in time, unless we see a big, big play from a Zoom Wallace or maybe a pick by Byers or something along those lines, I don't see how we're not speaking to Aidan Burke after this Blue Devil win.
Manley takes the snap, rolls out. He's tripped up in the backfield. Caleb Lucas. You just called your shot right there.
I mean, you make a big play on defense, and how about the ankle? He grabs the ankles. Manley tried to get outside, and something he hasn't been able to do yet this evening is get outside the pocket.
Well, tell you what, he's second in the state in sacks, and he just got another one, 11.5 on the year.
I mean, he might have a couple here tonight.
You may be right, now that I think about it.
Because I want to say he was in on the play down here before he got back to the line of scrimmage. He might have 2.5, maybe even 3 sacks here tonight.
It could have just been TFLs, but my memory is foggy from the first half. Here's a draw from Manley, and he'll get taken down close to the, looks like 27. They're down and very long incoming.
Lucas again was in on that one along with Josh Byers to make the stop there, but now you're 3rd and 15.
And I think now is a safe time to start talking about what's ahead. Both sides, both games that are getting close to conclusions, but we'll wait till after this 3rd down. 3rd and 15. Snap. Manley, quick throw, complete out to Tucker Leist. Leist beats his way for a first. Made his way out of bounds, but the clock runs.
(40-6) here. Ontario just got the ball back again. 21-21. They got to go 95 yards in 7 minutes to beat Perkins.
And that's the big question mark right now. Every other game of teams that we cover at the OH Report, they are leading.
Yep.
Except for that one right there,
yep,
where it is tied at 21, and Ontario is looking to drive down the field. This could be a historic night for North Central Ohio football. Here's an interception in Logan. It's West Payne.
And that was just overthrown. Manley overthrew his guy. But here's the thing. You watch that replay. Josh Byers, again, just leveled. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a roughing the passer. Because Manley got leveled as he released that football.
We'll take a second look at it, hopefully. I didn't get it in frame, but.
Oh, wow. Blindside block on the defense before the interception.
So you were calling for a roughing the passer, but it was actually a blindside block.
That's interesting to me to call a blindside block on the defense before they have possession. That's a new one to me.
Whatever the call is, offense stays out on the field for Eastern.
Yeah, it's a 15-yard penalty, and Eastern gets to stay on the field.
Clock continues to roll, though, on a 40-6 game.
Inside of 7 minutes here, and Eastern not in much of a hurry. Kind of being held up by the officials right now.
And the clock's running. Eastern fans getting a little frustrated on the far side as the clock is ticking out likely on their season here. They finally have the cue to go. Manley with 4 receivers. 6 minutes left in the 4th. Manley collapsing pocket. Will have to run himself.
Big hit by Byers.
They're a candidate for Danville football for a hit of the week. That's something they like to do, post on Facebook a couple of their accolades from all of the weeks. And Josh Byers, he actually shared that title of hit of the week last week with Aidan Burke, who both had big tackles on rushes from the Miller Falcons.
That was a huge hit by Byers coming across the field on Manley. And second and 3 now.
Despite the hit, it was a solid run from Manley. It feels like right now too little too late. Dropping back to pass, shot down the field, looking for, and it looks like they were going for Peters again, another incompletion. Third down for the Eastern Eagles, who will likely end the season now 13-1. This is their best season in program history, and I mentioned it in our scene setter, Josh. This is a team that just got a football team 10 years ago, and they're already getting to a regional championship and making some noise, even though they run into a Danville team that has their way against them. They're on the up and up.
This team's only been in the OHSAA football program for 10 years now, 9 years technically. And they're already 13-0 playing for a regional title. They can only go up from here.
And this is Manley's first year starting as quarterback. Just a junior. Misses an intended target. That's going to be a fumble, as it was a backwards pass, so it'll take him back to the 46-yard line.
Yep.
That's the risk you run with plays like that.
I think that was going to be a throw out here to the receiver, and then I think he was going to throw it downfield. I think that was a trick play again, kind of like they ran earlier. Because that was Tucker Lice, the same young man that completed the pass earlier in the game.
It is a final between Hillsdale and Cuyahoga Heights. The Falcons will be playing in the state Final Four after winning 44-14. They await the winner of this one, which looks to be Danville with 3:42 to go.
Off the hands.
And that will fall incomplete. So Danville takes the football back, and now we can start talking about what is going to be our game of the week next week. The Danville Blue Devils taking on the Hillsdale Falcons.
I tell you what, it's going to be exciting. It's going wherever that game is played, the stands are going to be filled because both of these fan bases absolutely love their football. And now, Travis Berardi loves to say it, and I agree with him. You win tonight, you're practicing on Thanksgiving, and you're playing a football game during the holiday season.
Those Thanksgiving practices, those are big deals for some of these kids. They love the fact that they're going to be practicing on Thanksgiving Day out in this, obviously, fall transitioning into winter weather. I see a timeout called. So timeout Danville. And how do you think these two teams are going to match up next week between Danville and their strong run game that's kind of been held up here the last couple of possessions against Eastern, but Hillsdale, I don't know how I feel about their rush defense against a team like Danville, but then you've got Hillsdale's offense that we know what they're capable of.
And I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Hillsdale is a very balanced team. Kel Lewis can light you up from the quarterback spot, but they've also got a young man in the backfield named Owen Sloan that's really, really talented. So it's going to be Sloan against Burke next week. I think the matchup you're going to have to watch out for is I think that if Danville's going to have a shot to beat Hillsdale, Hackman's going to have a game through the air.
But don't forget, it's not just Sloan versus Burke. It's Sloan against Burke and Cyren Wallace as Burke gets into Beaver territory as we have the finishing touches here at Logan.
And I think that's going to be the difference. You've got both of those teams. Hillsdale has 4, 5, 6 athletes around that can make a play. Danville has the exact same thing. Athlete against athlete. Which defense is going to win next week? Because we know the offenses are going to do their thing. We know the offenses are going to put up points. Which defense is going to show out and show up to go compete for a state championship. As we see number 72, Bryden Tomlinson, kind of jogging off the field under his own power. Always good when a kid gets hurt and you see him get up and get off the field on his own power.
Exactly. Yeah, we've seen that for both sides. Richardson got taken down in the first half for Eastern. Ashton Spalding for Danville. And then right there with Bryden Tomlinson. Burke looks like he's going to be down in the backfield, so he'll be tackled for a loss. Third down and medium after that loss of looked like 4 or 5. So back to the Danville-Hillsdale talk. I feel like that's a game where both teams are well into the 20s, maybe even 30s. One of those back and forth Final Four games.
I think so.
So we'll have all week next week to talk about Danville and Hillsdale.
Yeah.
Also got to talk about some of the other games that are getting ready to wrap up. Big Walnut still up on Massillon 14-7.
Massillon Washington with the ball, though, and a chance to drive.
Here goes Aidan Burke. 3 touchdowns already today. He'll slow up.
I want to say we're going to have a hold on Danville.
So Aidan with a solid run, but for nothing. Hold will take them back, then we'll repeat third down. It'll be 3rd and 15 after this flag.
So we have one D7 state semifinal already paired with Danville and Hillsdale. The other one is paired now as well, as it'll be Marion Local against Columbus Grove.
That should be also another very good game. Columbus Grove.
They're
not too far away from each other, too.
I got to watch them last week against Mohawk.
Well, then what are you waiting for? Give me your thoughts.
Oh, man, they've got a young man at running back that's almost eclipsed 7,000 yards in his career. He is special.
Hackman with the read. Does not make the right decision there. He'll lose more yards. All the way back to the 35-yard line here on 4th down.
Byers will go back and punt this one away as we're inside of 50 seconds. It'll be a punt and ball game, essentially. Byers will punt it away. If so facto, final play of the game here, Jonathan.
They're going to call a timeout first. So they take it all the way down to 17 seconds. And this will give Danville fans some time to celebrate.
Much deserved celebration, too. But on the other side of things, the season here by Eastern shows the up-and-coming talent that they have. This was just Danville's season, and they're still rolling. They've been on a warpath since their most recent loss to Northmore. They haven't looked back, and they don't plan on looking back any time soon. We spoke with Coach Bloom. He said himself pregame, never look forward, never look ahead, right? As a coach, you don't want your kids to do that, but he said, how cool would it be to have us and Hillsdale in a state semifinal game, 2 schools that are less than 45 minutes apart, meeting for a chance to go play at Hall of Fame Stadium for a state title.
Next week will be fun, and it could be even more fun depending on some other results for OH Report fans and us at the OH Report, of course. Here's the punt that will likely end the game. Byers skies that one in the air, bounces right at the 42-yard line, takes an Eastern bounce, and will be downed around the 45-yard line. Clock will stop at 4.6, so Eastern's still going to get another play. But the celebrations will start soon.
And you hear the We Are Danville chants coming in. And how good does it have to feel for these kids to get there again, but to get there after last year, after just graduating some of their best players, but you get this freshman that comes in and does the things that he's done with the likes of Aidan Burke. You lose Byers for a little while. He comes back. You lose your best receiver. He comes back tonight. He has an interception that gets called back, as that'll finish it out.
It's a final from Logan. Danville goes to the state Final Four for the 5th time in their school's history. They have tried 3 years in a row to get back, and this is the year, 2024, where it finally happens. We'll take a break and come back live and free on the OH Report.
Defending K-Mac champs, play here.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Show brought to you by Valley ATV. Unfortunately, we are being ushered out of the press box, so we will not be able to bring you coverage of the trophy award ceremony for Danville, but we will have coverage down on the field here soon. Get some pictures posted later. We'll also talk to our MVP down on the field in a couple of moments, Aidan Burke. But the final here, 40-6, as Danville gets a running clock victory for the 4th week in a row, Josh.
And it was defense. You're going to see later, we'll talk about stats. We'll post them later as well with pictures. 347 rushing yards for Danville. They only gave up 96 yards of offense for Eastern. Defense, 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 defense wins championships.
There's the trophy right there. Danville raising it up. And they will celebrate, go get a picture as well. And we want to thank you so much for being with us. Final Four coming up next week. Hillsdale against Danville. Absolute cinema for an OH Report fan, and it will be coming to you live and free, hopefully live. We'll see. I guess I shouldn't have said that. Either live and free or delayed and forever. We're still figuring out a name for our delayed broadcast, but thank you for joining us here tonight. We were glad to bring you this one live and free. Your sponsors rolling through your screen one final time. Make sure to stay updated on social media. Facebook and Instagram will have all of the coverage from Danville's Region 27 championship win here over Eastern. Final score 40-6.